If you've ever planned an event and something went wrong, naturally, you probably got upset. This past week, I attended the State of the Borough address by Brooklyn's Borough President, Antonio Reynoso. The invitation said the doors would open at 6 p.m. and the program would start at 6:45 p.m. When I arrived shortly after 6, I found out that due to the malfunctioning of metal detectors, people were standing outside having to wait to get in. It was only until 7 or later that everyone was able to get inside. When I saw the borough president, he was visibly irritated. And to be honest, so was I. When the evening was over and I had a few seconds to reflect, I realized that while waiting online, a woman who I had recently met with to discuss our Brooklyn community and potential areas of collaboration and funding came up to me to say hello. I didn't see her again that night and would not have bumped into her had I not been waiting online. So why do we get irritated when things don't go as planned? Because we think we make the plans. Truth is that God makes the plans and we are much better off because of it. This week we conclude the book of Shemos called Exodus. The final words in the book of Shemos discuss how God signaled to the Jews in the desert when to rest and when to travel. But instead of calling it a resting spot, the Torah calls it journeys. In Exodus chapter 40, verse 37 and 38, but if the cloud did not rise up, they did not set out until the day that it rose. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the Mishkan by day, and there was a fire within it by night, before the eyes of the entire house of Israel in all their journeys. B'chol mas'ehem. In all their journeys? Isn't it resting spots the Torah is referring to? The mystics explain that in the journey of life, when things are going as planned and the way we like, we are on the go. Like the expression, moving right along. But when something shows up unannounced and unwanted, we stop. We come to a halt. We are irritated and frustrated. Says God, don't be foolish. The stops in your journey are part of the journey. There are no mistakes. The perceived stops along the way are purposeful. There's a mission for you to accomplish there. Sadly, we easily get distracted from this and we live in our tunnel worldview. There is a story told of a 19th century Eastern European modest Jewish tailor who was highly skilled at his craft. With time, his expertise led him to serve the nobility of his day. One day, a distinguished nobleman approached the tailor seeking his assistance. Listen, my friend, began the nobleman. I have just returned from Paris and I brought with me the most exceptional material. I want you to create a suit for me, one that I will wear only on the most special occasions. Here's the material. You have impeccable taste. I trust you. I'm excited to see what you will come up with. The tailor was overjoyed. Being commissioned by this particular nobleman to make this suit meant that he had made it to the top. Getting right to work, he toiled day and night, sparing no effort. But when he presented the nobleman with his work of art, instead of heaping praise upon the tailor, the nobleman's face contorted with displeasure. You call this a suit, he spat? I've never seen anything so disgusting. Not only is it a pitiful excuse for a suit, it stinks. Wrinkling his nose in disgust, the nobleman threw the tailor and the suit out of his home. The tailor stood there in shock. Moments earlier, he had felt on the top of the world, and now everything had come crashing down. Not knowing what else to do or where else to turn, he made his way to his Rebbe, Rabbi Rachmiel, the son of the Yid HaKadosh and a great Hasidic master in his own right. Rebbe, he said, please help me. I know I haven't been the most devout Jew lately, but I still need your advice, Rebbe. I created what I believed was the suit of the century, yet I was thrown out onto the street. I don't know what to do. Rabbi Rachmiel responded compassionately. My dear friend and chassid, listen carefully to my instructions. Go home and take apart the suit. Unpick every stitch, then sew it back together anew. I give you my blessing that your efforts will be met with success. Present it to the nobleman and he will appreciate it. Knowing that the nobleman had already expressed his disgust for this suit, the tailor was skeptical. Nevertheless, he dutifully followed the Rebbe's directions. When he timidly presented the suit to the nobleman again, to his shock and delight, the nobleman was overjoyed. This is the most beautiful suit in the world. I've never seen such a masterpiece. Bravo! Not only will I pay you what I promised, I'll pay you double. Baffled, the tailor returned to his Rebbe seeking an explanation. When you were initially hired by the nobleman and awarded this prestigious commission, it went straight to your head, the Rebbe explained. You became filled with arrogance. You forgot about God. All you could see was your own greatness and your own success, and your arrogance reeked. You reeked from it, and your work reeked from it too. Even the nobleman smelled it. So he threw you out together with the suit. But when you came to me, you were brokenhearted and humbled. And so all you needed to do was to remake the suit with your newfound sense of humility. Recognizing this, I blessed your efforts. And that's why the nobleman loved it. This taught this tailor a lesson for life, and I believe we can learn from it too. Every stop along the way is part of the journey where God needs us to be. As we conclude the book of Shemos, we will proclaim, Chazak, Chazak, v'nischazek, be strong, and let us be strengthened. Let's focus our strength to realize that we are always in the right place at the right time. We are directed to this place by the glory of Almighty God, when we understand it and also when we don't. For it isn't about me. It's about a much bigger picture in which I play a small but critical role. I wish you a good Shabbos and continued Simcha in the month of Adar. Chazak, Chazak, v'nischazek.